Good evening, everyone. I'm Kamen Entchev. A-State took on Troy today in the rubber game of the three-game set. The Red Bulls were 10-1 on Championship Sunday, as they call it, and this Sunday it was also Senior Day. Dustin Jones and Zach Maggio, Morgan Croft, Bradley Wallace, and Cody Woodhouse are the 5 seniors that shared hugs with family and teammates before the game. A-State would have a big third inning, and it all starts with a balk as Eric Wilcoxon scores and the game is tied at 3. 2 batters later, Matt Burgess singles to left, and the senior Zach Maggio scores, and ASU takes a 4-3 lead. Later in the inning, Joe Shrimp, he's a freshman and will have 3 more years to do damage like this. Shrimp drives in 2 with the RBI single. A-State scores 5 in the third, and the Red Bulls win 8-5 and improve to 17-10 in conference play, which is good enough for second best in the Sun Belt. To the track, Sharika Nelvis won the 100 and 200 meters, as well as the 100-meter hurdles at the Sun Belt Track Championships. Christina Aubert won the 1,500 meters, the 5,000 meters, and the 10,000 meters. The women's team finished in third. On the men's side, Rolf Pinar won the long jump and triple jumps, while Kashev Daniel won the high jump. Ethan Turpin won the decathlon. The men's team finished in 5th. The Diamond Hogs went for the sweep against the Aggies in a sloppy game. Both teams had 3 errors. The Razorbacks were down 2 in the 6th, but Michael Bernal singles to right. Bobby Warren scores, and Arkansas is down just 1. Later in the inning, Clark Egan at the plate, and he singles through the left side. Jake Wise scores, and the game is tied at 3. But the Aggies would come back, and they take it 6-5 in 10 innings. Back to A-State athletics, the football team continued its streak of draft success on Saturday. For the 8th straight year, an ASU player was selected in the NFL draft. Defensive tackle Ryan Carruthers was drafted in the 5th round with the 165th overall pick by the San Diego Chargers. Carruthers tallied 93 tackles this senior season. That total was the 3rd best in the nation among defensive linemen, and one of the reasons the Chargers drafted him.
Well, Ryan is one of those prototypical nose tackles. He's 6'1", 322 pounds. He's a powerful, stout player inside, and also has some uncommon production for a nose tackle. Usually you don't expect nose tackles to have a lot of called paper production tackles and TFLs and sacks, but he had a lot of that at Arkansas State, and really played well against some of the bigger schools they played.
Former A-State quarterback Adam Kennedy wasn't drafted, but today he was invited to the Chicago Bears minicamp. The dual-threat QB threw for 2,341 yards and 11 TDs through the air. Kennedy also ran for 524 rush yards and 4 scores. Former ASU wide receiver Julian Jones signed with the Atlanta Falcons, so the Falcons will have a Julio and a Julian Jones in camp this summer. Travis Swanson was the first Arkansas college athlete drafted. The former Razorback center was taken by the Lions in the 3rd round with the 76th overall pick. And a trio of Razorbacks were also drafted on Saturday. Defensive end Chris Smith was taken by the Jaguars in the 5th round. The 7th round saw 2 Hogs go off the board in back-to-back picks. First up was fullback Kiero Small, who was drafted by the NFL champs, the Seattle Seahawks. In the very next pick, the Redskins took Zach Hocker, the former Razorback kicker. You don't have to get drafted to play in the NFL, though. A trio of Razorbacks agreed to free agent deals following the draft. The Dolphins picked up offensive tackle David Hurd, while defensive tackle Robert Thomas signed with the Washington Redskins. And wide receiver Javante Herndon will join Ryan Carruthers on the San Diego Chargers. Back to the draft in my alma mater, the St. Louis Rams selected former Missouri Tiger Michael Sam in the 7th round with a 249th overall pick. The Tiger defensive end became the first openly gay player to be selected in the NFL draft. It was certainly an emotional moment for Sam. After Sam was drafted, TV cameras showed him kissing his boyfriend. Soon after this, former A-State safety Don Jones tweeted, "OMG" and "horrible." Those tweets have been deleted, but today the Dolphins excused Jones from team activities. Back to drafted Tigers, New Madrid County's own defensive end Coney Ely was selected by Carolina Panthers late in the 2nd round with the 60th overall pick. Offensive tackle Justin Britt and cornerback E.J. Gaines were the other 2 Tigers that were drafted over the weekend. And check out those clouds as the Cardinals play the Pirates tonight. Top first, Alan Craig drives in Johnny Peralta with his single up the middle. Later in the inning, Yadier Molina with an RBI single of his own. The Cards score 4 in the 1st. St. Louis leads at 6-4 in the top of the 9th at last check. That's sports. Now break.